What's going on, guys? Back at you with another video. It's been actually quite a long time since I did a video game video. But, it hasn't been really that long since I did do that. That last one was July 24th. But now we've got. This is not Owen's Free Roam Home. That's over. But another LEGO Dimensions video where I'm actually going to show you guys my whole entire figure collection because today is very special for our LEGO Dimensions video. My very first video I did of LEGO Dimensions was 1 year ago from today. October 22nd, 2023 was when I uploaded the Owen's Free Roam for LEGO Dimensions episode 1, the very first episode, of course. But today, on that day of 2024, I would like to pay tribute to that with every single character that I have they all made an appearance in Owen's Free Roam. And you guys probably know if you've ever watched any of them, or let alone all of them. But yeah, this will be a pretty good way to celebrate that, because it's been a while since that last time I did a LEGO Dimensions video. So as you can see, behind the TV, unlike all the past 100 episodes, which were filmed in my old house before I moved to the new one I live in right now, this is probably only LEGO Dimensions video I'm probably gonna end up posting in this new house. So keep that in mind. In fact, this is the same new house that I'm posting this in the same room where I did my DVD and Blu-ray collection 2 days ago on the video. So if you haven't seen that one, go check it out. Okay, but enough talking, and let's get on to the characters here. We've got Batman, Gandalf, and Wildstyle, the main 3 starter pack characters that you get when you first start LEGO Dimensions. But a little quick reminder about my sets of characters. I'm going to show them all, each set of them from what that came to be able to access what world all those ones go into. I think a good place to start would be with the DC Comics. So let me actually pause this real quick. Hold on. Okay, guys, I'm back, and I've got the DC Comics, and most of them are from the Justice League. But one thing to note that I forgot to know what to know, but I'll get to that later. But of course, starting off with the DC Comics we've got who you might all know, Batman, who you might know from the very beginning. Oh, he has that Batarang still. Yes. Before I started recording this video, I turned off the Voltron disco, so that way it's not that much of a distraction right now. But of course you can see. Can Batman actually hover using utilizing his cape? No, he cannot. And there's that little background. Ooh, we actually got saved. Are you gonna sleep? Some of the other guys are having a hard time trying to get back out there. You better walk up a little farther so they're not having so much. You know he can go invisible, of course, and do grapple hook stuff. Yeah, but the only hub world that he can go into that... Wait a minute. Actually, the hub world... Oh, I should have screwed that. The only hub world the hub world that he comes from is DC Comics. That's when he came from, of course. And let's move on to Superman, the Man of Steel. Batman's the Dark Knight, of course. So here he is, Superman in all of his glory. Oh, by the way, if someone who knows of the movies that those franchises that these heroes starred in, like for example, Batman's Dark Knight trilogy, his Tim Burton films, I think Batman vs Superman, The Dawn of Justice, and The Batman, the Lego Batman movie, and many more. While Superman had a film series of his own that began from like the 70s, I think 78. But as you all see, we talk about. Let's go more back onto the characters themselves. For Superman, he's got the theme song playing when he flies, but only for. I think it's from. They don't play for more than 30 minutes, of course. And there's his laser vision. Ooh, his ice breath. Ooh, and his super strength. That he can break stuff easily, which was pretty helpful for collecting studs in our series. We're passing by Doctor Who, which we'll get to a little later. And he has that cool ground pound ability or like kind of debris crap goes. All right, but let's go on to Wonder Woman. And like Superman, she has the theme song when she flies. She can like use that little crown. And like how Batman is secretly Bruce Wayne, as you may know, and Superman Clark Kent, Diana Prince is Wonder Woman. But he has the signature, her famed signature superhero outfit. She can utilize grapple hook capabilities with her lasso of truth. It's kind of ironic that the on-screen figure has those bracelets and the actual minifigure toy I have doesn't. That's pretty cool. Ooh. She like has her crown removed and use it as an accessory, like for battering switches, kind of similar to Batman. One thing you might notice is that she and Superman have these invisible hearts that are gray. That means they're barely even depletable. So that was a look at Wonder Woman. There's another hero named Aquaman. By the way, these two, Supergirl and Green Arrow, who I'll get to eventually, despite having the gold plates for year 2, they still count as DC Comics characters because that they come from the DC Comics world as well. But back onto Aquaman, Arthur Curry is the Aquaman, I think. I think it is. And he can use trident, and out comes water to aim at things. Ooh, look at this move we will be then let go of. Ooh, Water-nado, I think. Would that be funny? Ooh, he can also, the only character who can interact with those specialized Lego sets that appear where you can do tasks to do gold bricks, like you may have, from watching my videos. And he has the cool idle animation where he And then he spawns in fish, and then a giant shark, which I think was a pretty good one. Oh, and I think that's it for Aquaman, actually, because now it's time for Cyborg. And this guy, when you watch some metal noises are here, because he's half robot and half human. Now look at that the tin texture, I think, to him. And he has laser, but it comes from a little blaster of him. That can also function as a blaster. Oh, it can even come from what he uses that covers his eye. That helmet. Which is really cool. And I think he might be strong too. Ooh. But what if you hold B? And then he becomes a giant version of himself that's rather more of the serious, angry kind. Oh, I didn't really. When he did that, the character kind of panned down to the stairway walking. Ooh, I don't think you've seen me do that kind of thing. Ooh, when you can summon in a rock. Do that? Can he summon in a rock? Oh, there is no rock right here because, of course, there's none of those that can interact with. I wonder if I can change him back. Oh, don't tell me you can't change him back. Oh, I got an idea. What if I take the cyborg figure off the base and then respawn him? Would that work? It didn't work. Sweet. Actually, let's go on to Supergirl. Like I already told you, she still counts as a DC Comics character because she's from that same hub world, even though with the gold plates for year 2 side of things. She's pretty much got a lot of the same abilities as Superman. Laser vision, super strength, and all. The ground pound and all. But except the one thing he doesn't have is the theme song. Because she doesn't have one, I guess. And her design, she has a different leg piece than Superman. And what looks like some kind of skirt. I'm not 100% certain what that is. But let's go on to Green Arrow. It's kind of, which some of you might be wondering, it's kind of ironic that Green Lantern doesn't even show up in this game. And neither does the Flash, even though the Flash did appear in the DC Comics world as a quest character in both DC Comics and Lego Batman movie. But it's kind of ironic that he wasn't a playable character. Imagine him versus Sonic in a little battle. That would have been pretty cool. But you can shoot the arrows similar to other characters like Bart Simpson, I think Owen Grady, and many more. Because he got a little hoodie and a yellow hairpiece, and a green crossbow. Can he do anything when you hold the B? Ooh, yes, he can. Wait. Ooh, shoot 3 arrows. Ooh, I forgot to mention about the ice breath of Supergirl. Okay, now's a good time, but I'm probably gonna move on to. Let me pause it real quick. Wait a minute. Actually, sorry about that, guys. There were 3 other DC comics I almost forgot about, like the villains, of course. I decided to do them separately. But still in the same DC Comics before them because there's simply because there was not enough room for all of them on the base. But you have the Joker, anyways. There's only 3 DC villains playable. Yeah, the Joker has that gun. This little. I think you might have seen him with that gun in The Dark Knight. I think so. Ooh, he can leave out so many of these chattering teeth. See what they. Whoa! Ooh, you can smash them. But I don't know if what else he does, but it is said that his little thing, his gun can interact with the electric pieces. But let's go on to Harley Quinn, who's look at that acrobatic spin, kind of like Laval and Wiles now, and even the Ninjago's characters, but. Look at her red and her white, red, and black outfit with the color of a wild gambling card. And look at that massive mallet. That thing is menacing. You can also whoa! Look at that swinging mallet spin. Whoa! Sorry about that thing. I think that's it for Harley, actually. Let's get on to Bane. This super cool little guy. Who is, I think he's very nice. Whoops, sorry Joker, I already reviewed. Well, let's go with Bane using some of that venom to make him grow bigger and broad. Whoa! That's that pretty massive roundhouse. With the venom light it looks like green crystals, but they're really not. They just only appear for about 3 seconds or so, or maybe 4 seconds. This guy is very strong, powerful when he becomes strong. It's going back, hulking back down to regular size. Because now, I think it's time we move on to the other. Hold on, actually. Okay, the moment we have come for. Now we got Lord of the Rings characters. So, let's start with Gandalf. One of the other starter pack characters. There's that his staff. Ooh, use that little force field around you form by holding the B button.
I'm glad to see you escape the minds of Moria in one piece.
And wouldn't you know, some of the Gimli and Legolas have their voices actually recycled from the Lord of the Rings trilogy. And I especially am aware that there is one called The Hunt for Gollum that's coming out soon, and an animated one coming out in winter this year. Which, if you're a Lord of the Rings fan, then I reckon you might be wanting to see that one. Ooh, and since he's a wizard, he has the magic to light up dark areas. Let's go on to. We can go on to Legolas. Why not? Legolas is just like Green Arrow. He has an arc crossbow, which I don't think there's anything I can aim at right now, since I pretty much aimed at whatever I could around. And he's acrobatic too. He has a nice hairpiece, by the way. Can we do anything? Ooh. Aim a crossbow. How many arrows did he just throw? Ooh, sorry about that. But it was 3 arrows, kind of like Green Arrow. Oh, and like I already just said before, the voices were recorded or recycled from the lines in the movies. like Orlando Bloom was reused for Legolas's lines. And another one is Gimli. Wow, that voice, again, that was John Rice Davies' lines recycled from the films as well. Gimli is, has a nice headpiece, I think. I think that's a headpiece. I'm not sure. The with the beard and all. Which he has a little cool looking axe right there. Whoa. He is a dwarf character. One of the dwarfs. And the last character is, nope, there he is. Gollum. Ooh, and he has a pretty weird jump. Oh, but the way he walks is actually very funny. And there he's he's a single piece except for his arms, which are accessory like. He can actually throw a fish as a batarang, which I didn't really expect. Which I actually did know from recording these videos, of course. But let's actually go on to the next collection. Hold up. Alright guys, we've gotten to the Lego Movie collection, which we go to this hub right over here. We start off with Emmett. And he was pretty helpful for a lot of seasons 1 through 5, and probably 6 to 7, thanks to that drill right there that I'm utilizing right now. Yep, and then one thing is, some of the voice actors from the movie reprise their roles for Lego Dimensions, which I think is pretty good, instead of just the video game replacements for veteran voice actors. Like you got Chris Pratt, Elizabeth Banks, Alison Brie, and Charlie Day are back. While Liam Neeson's for Bad Cop was recycled from the movie. We got for Alright, I think that's it for Mr. Special. Everything is awesome. But now let's go on to Wild Style, who is the last of the 3 star hat characters. She has these kick butt moves. She's tough as nails, actually. Wow, you really one tough. And all the Lego Movie characters. Well, maybe Bad Cop is an exception. Can be utilize ability to master build. And Master Builder version of it is the only version that we get in this game in Lego Dimensions. So if you've played the Lego Movie video game, there are all so many variants of Emmett. But of course, the Master Builder one is the only one we get in here out of all those. I forgot. Now, there's also a few different variants of Wild Style, but the one with the hoodie down is the only one we get. And there are plenty of other. And move on to another one there are variants of, like Unikitty, who has that unicorn horn attack. You can shoot out the whole magic burst with her horn. Oh, and I do remember she did those funny the jumping and walking animation. That was a series of jumps that you may know, which I think thought were pretty cool. If you may notice me in probably episode 10, I'm not, or episode 20 maybe actually. When we first introduced Unikitty into our squad, Ooh, and I cannot leave this off without forgetting about her rage mode. So that here it comes. Oh, look at that! Oh, she is completely red, yellow, and orange with those teeth with massive, scary looking teeth and the really big, angry eyes. That looks super menacing. When you use enemies, you can like gnash her teeth on them. Well, looks like we ran out of time to rage. All right, so we're gonna have to, that's refilling. Let's get on to Benny, another master. Like I said before, many or most of them master. Look at Benny glide using his air tank right there. His oxygen tank to like glide down. Oh, we almost fell into the ditch. Yep, we're all safe. That's pretty much ironically right, because we do have that red power brick that saved us. He also has this retro space 1980s blaster. He's a 1980s Lego astronaut. And he has that blue Lego spacesuit. And let's see what he does when you move in. Ooh, he does that when you destroy sonar bricks. But let's get on to Bad Cop. And like Cyborg, he has this laser gun. Except it's not. Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. And it can. There's nothing he can do with. There's nothing that he can do with the B button whatsoever. And like I said before, Liam Neeson's lines for him in this game were recycled from the original Lego movie. Well, I think a lot of characters have that factor in them. Alright, so now let's move on to the next bit, shall we? Alright, now we come to Wizard of Oz. And the only Wizard of Oz character we have is the Wicked Witch of the West. She's flying around on her broomstick, on her magic broomstick. I remember that she can't go in the water because she'll melt, obviously. So, and so she has a hat similar to Gandalf, except it's all white. The same thing with her cape, and her magic abilities, which can destroy silver bricks. She has a little bit of similar abilities to Gandalf, except more that he can't do. So she was a pretty important character because she was the only one to access Wizard of Oz. Well, with characters from one world that only one character from that world was available in this game, I will want to let you know that that's actually kind of common with some of the worlds in this game. So, so I hope that'll be the kind of the shorter bits of collection. Oh, and by the way, speaking of the one in year two, there's the shard in the distance that we'll go to once we get all the year two characters all revealed and stuff. Because this video might take a little while simply because of the amount of characters I have to review. But of course, let's actually, with all that said, let's go to the next bit, shall we? Alright, what's up? I moved on to the Ninjago squad. And in DC Comics was quite a lot number of characters, but Ninjago is the one hub world that's closest to being in the DC Comics with the largest collection of characters from one hub world. But we're starting off as the one we're playing as, Kai. He's the one with the fire abilities. You can tell with those. And they all feature one specific move that is called Spinjitzu. Oh, and as of the time I'm recording this, I'm starting thinking that Ninjago is a lot more popular than Legends of Chimo that I'll get to later. Considering it sold a lot more sets and has continued on, and you might know of the movie, the Lego Ninjago movie, so that even spawned that. But anyways, back onto Kai. There's nothing you can do hold B and then let go for him either. Then use the. Now let's just move. There's a lot of detail. Let's go on to Cole. He's the Earth Utilizer. With that cool looking weapon. The Ninjago characters have some cool weapons. That one that looks like one of those you use on Halloween. Like that's coming up in a few days. Alright. Oh. Whoa! I just fell down. I did not want that. Let's get back up here. There we go. And they're all have Cole. This is Cole has Spinjitzu. Let's move on to Jay. Oh, don't mind that background noise. But Jay has this lightning. Wow, is he electric? In Light the Joker, he can have access that electricity panel with that cool.
So we don't just have to say
yeah.
everywhere else too.
That's right. There's a lot of hope. It does. I think Cole said that just wisely. Although not as long as and all the Ninjago squad members have the acrobatic ability. Ooh, he can electrify some evil butt. Ooh, now there's the guy to ice some evil butt, Zane. And he's the ice ninja. And you can see a few snowflake icons come out with the abilities he has. Ooh, and he has the ability to batarang his very cool looking boomerang like weapons. And I found out the name that they're called, but I can't really think of it right now. But let's move on to, of course, Naya, the only female member of the squad. They say she's the water ninja, I believe. There are many different Naya variations, but the one in LEGO Dimensions is in her samurai attire. Her incarnation. With her cool helmet piece. And she's really... look at those swords look very battle ready and serious. And look at the effects here when she's slashing her sword around. Well, let's get on to Sensei Wu, who I suggest could be one of the more interesting characters of the game. I mean, he's got the cool Chinese hat, martial art, and I think that's a staff, or it could be some kind of bamboo stick. Alright. Oh, and he can actually, alright. He can helicopter utilizing that bamboo stick, which I think is just fantastic. Let's give this for you guys one more time. Wait a minute. I'll just say what I realize now in just a moment, as soon as we're done. But we have the last Ninjago character is the Green Ninja, aka Lloyd. he's the Green Ninja, except for Dimensions, they chose him to be his Golden Ninja version of himself. And I actually kind of like the golden one look a little better. He has the gold back armor piece, which is he's got the golden. Look at that! Lloyd's combat moves are gold here, which is very great. And now that's probably it for the Ninjago character, so hold on. Okay, guys, now it's time for the Simpsons characters. There's only 3 of them. The first of which is Homer J. Simpson, of course. And as usual, the voice actors from the show are still the voices in here like they usually are. And that's actually good to know. There's Homer, and one interesting thing about the Simpsons characters they got their heart force is actually donuts. Wait a minute. I actually forgot to mention that the things or parts around their lives are in different shapes, of course. The life, which I think is pretty cool. The very good, perfect way to represent what world that they come from. The way Homer runs, like he's trying to, he's trying to catch his breath. And and one big thing about Homer is that when you can make him a angry giant, which look at the angry look on his face, and it makes him strong too. I guess. And they still have a headpiece that it's actually very accurate to the show. Next on we've got Bart Simpson. It's actually kind of ironic that the other Simpsons family members in the game appear in the game, but aren't playable characters. Like you see Marge when I'm walking through in the hub world, but she's not a playable character. So we got Bart Slingshot. Ooh, when you aim Bart Simpson, an aiming slot is a donut too. How's that for something? Ooh, and he can even do some slingshot on a rock. You hold the B button and then let go to release 3 rocks. I think that's a rock broken into 3 pieces. I think. And unlike in the TV show, Bart does not speak in LEGO Dimensions. I think it was because Nancy Cartwright was not available. Busy with other Simpsons projects. But here's a guy that they made up for the unplayability of the other family members. They made up for it with Krusty the Clown, who has a nice hairpiece. He has the red nose and the blue hairdo that looks just. Ooh, he can even splat pies. He can even throw pies like explosives. Ooh, and he can also, when near to these toxic waste, he can use a water sprayer to clean them off, which I think is pretty cool. Now let's actually move on to the other set. Hold on. Okay, we're on to the Doctor Who, starting with the 12th Doctor. Since there are other Doctors that came in the Doctor Who franchise it's been running for a long time and still is quite to this day. That might be outdated, but his figure is still very ahead of his time, I guess. You got that sonic screwdriver, and he's the one and the 12th Doctor. I think that's all I can say about him right now, because other than that sonic screwdriver, which is cool. Let's actually go on to Cyberman. the only other character other than the Doctor who is playable. There are many different extras Cyberman, which they use the same design but copy the same design to make it more of an army. Some could argue that that's cheap, but I think that's ahead of its time too. One thing I forgot to mention about the Doctor is that when he dies, he ends up turning into several Doctors in past incarnations, which I didn't really admit that I didn't really like because it made the figure because it made me look like it was the wrong character. So when that past incarnation is not my real figure, of course. So that's all I can say. But Cyberman, can Cyberman actually do something? Ooh, he can do this ability that I could have mentioned, like when he summons in this miniature little creature. I don't know what the heck that is. That can access a thing that I forgot about. Unfortunately, silly me. Oh, and he's metallic, just kind of like Cyborg. But that's enough about him. So let's move on. All right, we're at the Back to the Future side of stuff. Starting with oh yeah, Marty McFly. I almost forgot about the name. That's the one who Michael J. Fox voiced. May his acting career rest in peace since he retired, but he's still active as an activist, as you may know. Some of you may know. But enough about Michael J. Fox and more about the character he played of Marty. Ooh, and he has the guitar, which is for destroying sonar bricks and stuff. Wonder if there's he can do that. Oh wow, that looks like sound of rock music. And Doctor Who and Back to the Future are time traveling dimensions where you can travel through time with certain gadgets like the DeLorean and the TARDIS. Anyways, let's move on to Dr. Emmett Brown, aka Doc. And it's Christopher Lloyd who did the voice for him. Well, and he can't. Ooh, similar to the Cyberman, he can summon in a mini DeLorean, a miniature DeLorean you see right here. Oh, using some kind of device for gigawatts. Yep, the sound of that voice is Christopher Lloyd here already. So, anyways, let's move on. All right, I've got another Hub with only one character, and that is Portal 2's Chell. The one, she's actually a very important character because she's the one who can interact with some blue and orange portal piece sets, of course. Oh, and you can also interact with. You can also use when you press the B button. Fires orange bullets. Blue X button fires blue bullets. Which is very coincidental because the button I press is actually the color blue on my Xbox controller. And she's acrobatic too. But yeah, she's the only character I can play as that goes into Portal 2, so time to move on. Now we go on to the one of two Ghostbuster incarnations in this game, the 1984 counterpart. We start off with Peter Venkman, who comes with the proton pack on his back, and like I said before, the Ghostbuster actors from 1984 lines were recycled for this. And what you can do this. One more, when you press this Y button, you can recycle between other members of the Ghostbusters. Like this one is Ray, I think. That's Ray Stantz. And he's got a lot of the same abilities, though. However, Proton Pack, Ghost Capturing, and all. Then there's Egon Spengler. This guy, except they have different hair pieces. But this one has the one with goggles, with like spectacles or glasses or something. A lot of that, same ability, Proton Packs, and all. Wonder if you can actually do that with Slimer. I guess not. Not like you do in the level. But there's the last Ghostbuster that I can cycle to, and that is Winston Zeddemore. It was more of the dark-skinned Ghostbuster. These are the male Ghostbuster counterparts. They all have the same abilities. So, get them back to Peter Venkman and stuff, and go on to these other characters too, like Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Is who this guy is? Ooh, he has some of the funniest animations for a character. When you ground pound, his hands become like massive. Did you see that? Speaking of massive, Alex, he has the ability to grow into a giant version of himself that's angry, sort of like Homer J. Simpson. Whoa, since he is made of marshmallow, there are marshmallow stains from his ground pounding. Oh my god, that thing looks pretty spooky. Ooh, and this is actually a good one because it's, like I said before, it's near Halloween. But let's actually move on to Slimer. There we go. He can fly, of course. He's the only guy who can go past the ghosts and stuff without having to be scared off by them and have to call on the Ghostbuster guys to stop. And he's has a lot of abilities, like use sausages, does batarangs, destroy sonar glass, go underwater, get past ghosts, all those that I don't think I need to mention. Anyways, let's move on. Here we go, 8-bit with Midway Arcade. And the only guy here is the Gamer Kid. And Midway Arcade is actually one of the very underrated worlds of this game. Despite having some very classic 8-bit games, it's not really as high of attention as like DC Comics or Scooby-Doo or even Back to the Future or Ghostbusters. But of course, I would love to talk about this game. There's a lot of these abilities. Ooh, you can drink a soda. Well, that one's the laser vision. There's many different ones of these. Invisibility. A soda that he drinks can make him have different powers and stuff. But each one has a little invincible clock above it. Let's talk about the one with super strength. He grows slightly, but not as much as some other guys. When the shirt changes color too. Ooh, the soda gives it invincibility. That's kind of reminiscent to Super Mario. Imagine if Super Mario was part of this game, it would have been a very cool license to add to the game. Ooh, Super Speed. Let's try this one. I actually like this one. Super Speed. Although it's not really as fast as Sonic, that's a very cool ability for him. Ooh, that's it for all the sodas that he can drink. So let's go on ahead and take him off the base. Hold on. Next one. Where are you? Because Scooby-Doo is here. We got Scooby himself who runs. And when the characters run, they have cartoon sound effects. very coincidental because appropriate because they are cartoon characters and all. And when you're in the Scooby Doo world, they have their accurate hand-drawn look, which is very fantastic and a nice touch. It's the size of the cartoon running. He becomes more laser vision-y when he eats a Scooby snack, but there's something about him that he does when gliding. Still kind of paper plates. He's still. I don't get what is the logic that these are paper plates. I'm not. Oh, and now let's just move on to his buddy Shaggy, who. Oh, Scooby can also dig. One of the characters who can dig and stuff. But Shaggy is can light up dark areas with his flashlight, with that the figure comes with as an accessory. Oh, he can do similar things. Scooby, like he has his gliding. It's like he's doing the chicken dance, which is. And the cartoon sound effects make it a good touch. Whoa! Ooh, when you even jump a little high, you can do that. I think that's all for Scooby and Shaggy. Hold on. Okay, now we're on to Jurassic World, which has been which I think is a very popular dimension. Considering that the Jurassic World was the same year as LEGO Dimensions, 2015. There's even a whole LEGO Jurassic World game released the same day too, which makes 2015 a pretty good, strong year for the Jurassic Park franchise. And I bet Universal would be proud of themselves for that. But Owen Grady is who we're starting with. He is the same first name as me, because my name is Owen, of course. And this is a raptor trainer. He's got a little similar gun shooter like the Joker, but except he's more of a tranquilizer gun. But when you walk, he has a little dagger, or dino dagger. Oh, I hear he can turn invisible by disguising himself in dinosaur plant and stuff. And it's very good how that Chris Pratt is still is back in this game as him. Then you've got one of the Ace troopers from the ACU, who I think are working for the company called films called InGen. Oh, and he has the electricity abilities with a little stun rod. With a stun electric rod. Oh, and he has a little cool neck piece that that shows his ACU. I think it shows ACU logo on there. Yeah. And his name is not fully displayed, however. So actually, it's time to move on. Hold on. All right, now we're on to the last set of characters for year one, and that is Legends of Chima. And the three you get, one of them is Laval. Of course, he has that amazing sword and amazing head. I'm actually unapologetically a Legends of Chima fan, and the fact that it's underrated is actually pretty. I feel bad that it's underrated because it's a cool LEGO theme for. I think one of my favorite LEGO themes actually. But let's get on to Laval so I can go less off track. Laval has that cool, there's a lion head at the base of his sword. Oh, and the Legend of Chima has some amazing weapon pieces. Can you hold the B and stuff? Oh, you hold X for a lion roar that destroys sonar bricks. Now let's get on to Krager. Just like Laval is a lion. Laval, he's a crocodile. I think his sword is like crocodile shaped. And it looks pretty much more menacing. And Laval and Krager have this more heavier piece of armor around their which is like goldish, because these are their fire cheat counterparts. But last but not least is Eris, the eagle. When you walk, she has that fire cool axe and stuff. But when you fly, she actually comes with that little blaster that I hear you get in one of the sets. And one of the sets I did actually buy. And Eris is she was a very important character. I think she was a character you guys may have seen a lot in the first 5 halves of my series that I posted the video of. But now that's it for all the year 1 characters. Now I'm gonna go the shard a little bit and get the year 2 characters started. Hold up. Okay, guys, I am now at the shard, and we're now with the year 2 side of stuff. So there's not a lot of pub worlds that have that high of a collection as much as the DC and Ninjago in year 1. So this might be actually the god race, because this video is getting a little longer than I thought it was going to be. But of course, we've got Abby Yates, who's pretty much an upgraded Peter Venkman. Her Proton Pack sounds way better. And it's a much more efficient way of capturing ghosts. And she's the only one who can interact with this kind of cool mechanism that you can see her utilizing. This is from the 2016 Girl Ghostbusters incarnation. Speaking of them, you can actually cycle between them as well. Like there's Erin Gilbert, who can interact. Ooh, some of them have more ways they can interact than the male ones, which might make them more superior, I think. Like Erin has more of the tech panels, like Cyborg, Benny, or Bad Cop and at the store Silver. And then we on to Jillian Holtzman, who's going to appear in just a moment. And she has the funniest hair. She's like more of the eccentric, goofy one. She's the one who can access a wrench to fix things, like Emmett or Jay or Doc Brown. Oh, and she's more of the scientific one. Now let's go on to, wait for it, Patty Tolan, the last girl Ghostbuster. Oh, there is that thing beeping on red on the side of her left. We can throw those explosive things. Same proton pack except she's a dark-skinned Ghostbuster too, and the girl Ghostbuster legs look like the prints of black boots, which I think is a pretty good touch. How come they did not do the red boot feature with Superman I mean, they might have done so with Supergirl, but not. I think they could have done so with Batman too. DC Comics Batman with the gray uniform. Oh, but I feel like the DC Comics Batman in his black uniform could have been really cool too. But let's move on, shall we? Okay, guys. So we've got 4 characters from Adventure Time. Starting with Finn the Human, I think that white helmet he's wearing could debatably be it looks like a cat of some sort. And he's got the backpack with the different swords and stuff. Like he's got his regular sword. That's Scarlet. Ooh, we got different ones like the Demon Sword, which is a red sword can interact with these red objects that it's meant for. We've also got the Thin Sword, this one, which I think actually looks more suited for him, I would say. When he's a sword, let's go ahead to the Grass Sword. Ooh, there's that thing you waiting for. Yeah. This is a grass sword. You can use like grapple hook. The Root Sword, which I don't think is a sword you probably not have seen much. Which I think is kind of just the generic one. Root Sword, yeah, is not really that special. The Crystal Sword. I wish I could have shown this one to you guys in my series. It's too bad I didn't, but ooh, this pink, kind of like Princess Bubblegum. And I don't know what it's used for, but here's the Billy's Gauntlet, which I think we use the aiming for cut through objects and stuff. And the way it sounds. Let's go on to the last thing, which is a crossbow. It's kind of similar to that, to Green Arrow. Oh, except he holds it more professionally, like one. Go back to his regular sword, the Scarlet. And I think that's it for Finn the Human. Let's go for buddy Jake the Dog. Ooh, yeah, he's a very stretchy and versatile rubber hose character. Because there's many different things you can turn into, like the Jake suit. Whoa! That turn into that ball before you turn it and stuff. That thing is so huge. It's kind of like the Cyborg Giant. That thing is very massive. Now let's go on to another transformation.
Check it out. I'm
a trampoline, Jack. And the way the legs move is very fun. Imagine a living trampoline. That would have been very good. Like, you can have a character bounce on the trampoline. Whoa, that is pretty funny. You can still see his face on him. Now let's go on to Drill Jake. He's the only character other than Emmett who's important for drilling. And he has the drilling ability, thanks to the incarnation. Oh, let's go on to Dolphin Jake, which is like the regular form of Jake, but with a dolphin head of some sort. With his flipper tail and dorsal fin on his back. When he can destroy Stoner with a blowhole on the top of his head. Let's go on to very small, tiny Jake. That thing is very small, and he walks way fast too. Let's go him back to the Big Jake. So now let's grow. I'm a giant Jake. Except he walks differently by stretching his arms and legs pretty tall and long. When you're that big. I don't think I could ever find a Lego minifigure legs like or arms like that on a real figure. Now let's change him back to normal. Now it's time for Lumpy Space Princess. This one was like design is like a purple cloud with arms and a face and a little star printing on it. I think that's supposed to be resembling the crown and stuff. she comes with this little radio-like phones. I think they could be some kind of phones, if that's the only logical explanation. And he talks when I aim it. Whenever I do different when I do different things playing as him, he talks. Or it's a she. Sorry if I'm really confusing myself, but it's a she has a although she's played by a male actor, which is very ironic, and she's one of the only characters other than Unikitty who can actually interact with rainbow stuff. Well, let's move on to Marceline the Vampire Queen. And when she flies, she can transform into a bat, which, like all vampires do. And her wings pieces actually, purple wing pieces look very cool.
Actually, I don't think there are any bees in
Alright.
these for that matter.
Ooh, she has a guitar, acts like guitar. Ooh, I had no idea you could use that for Sonar Glass Destroying. She's like ramping up the tune of the music. And let's actually, time to go and move on to the next set of characters from the next world. Hold on. Alright, now we are on to Harry Potter characters. Here was Harry Potter himself, the boy who lived. Like Wicked Witch, he flies on a broomstick, except there's some accessories under his legs to better accommodate it. And he has a little smaller one it's a little different from the Lord of the Middle Earth characters. So this is actually from a different franchise. This is from the Wizarding World Harry Potter. And he can interact with the snakes, as you might, for those who are familiar with that scene at the beginning of the first Harry Potter, Sorcerer, which is at the Sorcerer's Stone, where he interacts with that snake at that zoo scene, and then it escapes and stuff. I think he still does have the scar on his head that makes him recognize, and he also has spectacles. One thing I have to mention about what Harry Potter character did not appear in LEGO Dimensions? That is Ron Weasley, and the same can be said about Ginny. But I think if Ron was a playable character, he would have made more sense. Then next you have Hermione Granger, who I actually love this figure, unapologetically do. And that's why she's been with us through a whole lot of majority of seasons 8 through 10. And she's been with us on all those. And I do remember that she was always with on my team when I did the 100% walkthroughs, the levels of year 2 and stuff. Story pack levels, level packs, and all. And Harry Potter and Hermione, sorry about that, still does have that small wand, an all-wizard from Gryffindor, I think. Yeah, it is definitely Gryffindor. But unlike Harry, she doesn't have a broomstick, so she can't fly. She's a pretty cool character who I love. One of my favorite characters of LEGO Dimensions, period. Now let's go on to the villain, he who must not be named, known as Lord Voldemort. When he flies, leaves a trail of black smoke, which really does help, a nice touch to signify that he's his villainous nature. And he can also interact with snakes, and he has that white skin that he's, and there's not All right, so that's it for the Harry Potter characters and all. That was a good one to talk about. But now I'm gonna move on to the next set. Hold on. All right, the next up we have Mission Impossible, whose only character is Ethan Hunt, played by Tom Cruise. Uh, he has that gun he can aim at things with. We can throw those explosives. Whoa, that signifies that they are explosives. Oh, we can even use that device to summon a miniature helicopter for the Mission Impossible IMF. I'm not 100% certain what the name of that organization is. The helicopter looks pretty cool. Oh, it just blew up. What the hell? But his heart lives are like fuses being lit up like dynamite. That's actually pretty good choice of parts for a Mission Impossible Lego game. That's pretty cool. But you may know him to have that him lowered down under that with that rope tied on to him. And he has these, and he can have those disguises. Those, we just see he comes with some goggles and binoculars that he has with as an accessory. But yeah, let's move on to the next set. Hold on. All right, now we go on to B.A. Baracus of A-Team. Whoa, aka the Bad Attitude Baracus. He's this cool guy. When you hold the B button, and he'll like punch as when you let go of the B button. And how the B button actually works with the BA with the B in his name. BA, that's kind of fun. And if you've never known about the A-Team, there are a bunch of elite guys who once were in jail but now escaped and now fight those who are criminals, like the A-Team guys. Like they kick some butt, from a criminal's butt down the block. Oh, and the setting of the Los Angeles was actually the setting of the A-Team Hub World, if you're familiar with my series. But let's move on now, shall we? Alright, we've gone to the Fantastic Beasts. We got and where to find them. And of course, one thing cool about my new camera stand, it's at the top, the thing that holds the phone is kind of rotatable, but it's kind of loose rotatable. But if you could spin, so I don't really have to consider. That way I can selfie while recording a video, which is pretty nice. If I'm using the camera stand and stuff. It's got all the same abilities as the Harry Potter wizards from Gryffindor. Ooh, this is actually in the same universe as Harry Potter, the Wizarding World universe. It's like a spin-off to them. Kind of like The Hobbit is a spin-off to Lord of the Rings. Or more, in this case, a prequel spin-off to Lord of the Rings. But we got Newt. A lot of the same abilities, except that but there's not really much except that he's a former student at Hogwarts who ends up in New York City. And then we have the Tina Goldstein, the girl who took the New Yorker girl who took new to the goodness gracious. Oh yes, the Magical Congress of the United States of America, and accompanied on the journey. She was a playable character in the story packs, and was even a playable character you can put on the base, which is very good, cool and all and stuff. You've also have the she has the hat hair piece. When she, I don't, you got in a way she aims at things like unlike other wizard characters. A lot of the same ability, force field abilities and all. Ooh, and except Finn. No. Sorry, Newt had a little suitcase a magical suitcase that his beast came out of and stuff. But yeah, let's move on. All right, guys. Here's a popular one I think you might be wanting to see: Sonic the Hedgehog. You got the only character is Sonic himself. The other characters appeared in the hub world and in the level, but as extras or quests that you can use to obtain gold bricks after completing. But here's Sonic himself. When he jumps, he makes the same sound effects from his early 1990s video game beginnings. So we've got homing attack, and he's the fastest running character. In fact, I've had him a long run with him in my series as well. So he's actually one of the best figures for LEGO Dimensions too. He has different abilities. He can smash into stuff. Ooh. When you hold B, he makes his spin dash. Ooh, and what you could say when he turns into the. Ooh. The studs you collect are still the rings, and once you collect a certain amount of rings, you're able to utilize his supersonic ability, which I bet I can do. Can I really do it? Maybe A and B. There we go! All Chaos Emerald power, and now he's the yellow supersonic. And he float at this floating running speed. Whoa! And the drains down. Does the number of rings drain? Like in the game, Sonic games, he becomes normal Sonic when his amount of rings drains down. Switching back to normal Sonic, it was fun. It's fun to show you this guy, but now let's move on. Now we're on to the Gremlins characters. We got Gizmo here. The Gremlins is the one where they have the rules with 3 Gremlin rules: no water, no bright lights, and no feeding after midnight. And look at these. He has a red bandana and a pencil he uses for an arrow, with that cool looking crossbow he made. That's very cool about him. I wonder if you could aim it at Stripe, but I guess not. Oh, and they say when you give him that Scooby snack, it looks as if he's eating it after midnight and turns it into a freaky brown counterpart of these green beasts. Speaking of the green beasts, we have Stripe, who some of the ones like Gremlins and Scooby-Doo and Ghostbusters are very perfect to show at this time because they're Halloween and Halloween is coming soon. And he has a pistol. Because that's fitting for him because he's a troublemaker character. And he looks very ferocious. And he has with the green-looking goblin with a white mohawk. That makes him look design look pretty cool. But yeah, I'm gonna move on to the next batch of characters. Hold on. Next up, we have E.T. from E.T. the Extraterrestrial, and he has a cool headpiece, which is looks like a neck with a head on it, and that's really his. Like that, it looks a little cuter than his the model of him that they or more of an animatronic kind of thing they made in the 1982 Steven Spielberg movie. And he has that yellow thing, which I think he can use to do magic, which I didn't really expect. And there was that thing where you could turn invisible, but it's actually a disguise where the kid, I think Elliot is his name, shows up on that bike and gives him that disguise, which was from the before, which I think was a pretty nice touch. But it's unfortunate that the iconic flying a bike in front of the moon logo was not seen in the series. But hold on. And he has he's a fascination with the phone from his time period, and he was taken in by an Earth family from space. But yeah, that's probably enough about him. So, hold on. All right, now moving on to the Lego Batman movie, and I must say, this is the only of the two spin-offs of Lego movie that actually got to be in Lego Dimensions, considering the story path and the way the characters move is a lot of the same character animation, which that stays in very true to blend, stays very accurate to the movie, which the limitations of functions of a Lego minifigure. Well, we got Excalibur Batman, because he's like an Excalibur looking piece of things Finn the human can use called a sword sword. He has a huge Excalibur sword. It's more of a medieval-ish looking Batman, in contrast to the black he often wears, the gray, and I think that darkish blue color that I don't really know. And he can throw batarangs and use grapple hooks too. But I think it's time to move on to Robin. And this is different from the DC Comics counterpart because the hairpiece, the eyes, and the spectacles that he wears, which are green spectacles. I think those are goggles. Mm-hmm. And he has the red boots printed on, which is pretty nice. If you hold B, whoops, I did not want that. He can do that costume rip thing he did in the movie and becomes Nightwing Robin. Oh, and can aim a little stick of that, blue stick of some sort, and he has that classic looking Batman old Batman uniform with a cape. Oh, he can even glide with some legitimate bat wings. Let's get him back to his other costume. Now go on to Batgirl, who is Barbara Gordon, the new police commissioner. She's a little like looking like Batman, except there's some hair poking out from the back of her cowl, and she can actually legitimately glide utilizing her cape, and her colors are purple and yellow. And what makes the Batman in Lego Batman movie different from the DC Comics one is the utility belt piece that they wear, which I think is just very fantastic, I must say. But that's enough about the Lego Batman movie characters, and let's go on to the next batch. Hold up. All right, you got from Knight Rider, you got Michael Knight, who is the young loner on a crusade to fight crime with the help of the people at the Knight Industries. The Knight Industries 2000 is called Kit, his car. There's not a lot of abilities he can do, which is kind of unfortunate. He's not the most versatile character of the game, but that does not mean he's a bad character by any means. Oh, no. He's got a cool black leather jacket, and that hairpiece, I think looks a lot like Frodo from the Lord of the Rings and stuff. Well, a lot of the Hobbit characters have that kind of piece, but in a hairpiece, but in a different color. But let's move on. Okay, we've got from the Goonies the Sloth character. Ooh, and he can throw candy chocolate bars, and he sounds like this. Fly, you guys. That's pretty funny. I voice for him. And he can, when you hold that, he can rip up that other shirt, revealing him to have an S for Sloth. Do you notice that's actually a Superman shirt that he actually has been wearing? And he has the cool looking hair piece with the ears and stuff. When you hold, whoa, he has that big punch. You can even throw without aiming with the chocolate candy bars. Ooh, you can. Something cool about it is you can cycle between the different Goonie kids. Like, here we go. You got this one. You got Mikey, who can actually throw dynamite. Alright. I think not a lot of that careful explosive, like Ethan Hunt. Oh, we can even throw it at a distance. And he's a little fast, kinda, too. Well, let's actually cycle between the other kids. Oh, sorry, not the Sloth. Let's actually go on to the other. Ooh, there's the next one would be my who could possibly be my most favorite of the Goonies, Andy. She has the cool Hermione Granger hair piece, and she has the white boots and stuff. And there's some cool looking radio when you're not walking, so you can really move along with the music. And the music that's playing is kind of actually groovy. And you can even hold it while you're walking, which is imagine like a cool dance party scenario. I thought it would be fitting for Voltron Disco. When you do this, hold the B with the radio. Try to get her hold still. And then when you let go, whoa! It's like a big blaster thing, kind of thing. Andy is definitely my favorite Goonies character, possibly. Now let's get on to this guy, cool looking guy, Brand. He has the hairpiece with the hand, the sweatband on his head, and he's the more of the working, athletic kind. All right. There's not a lot strong about him like Bane per se, but he's pretty good anyway. Let's see if I can go on to Chunk. This, I think that was the main Goonie of the kid of the playset, along Sloth as the companion. When you just lift the shirt up, the min-ref gets exposed when you hold it, but when you let go, it's actually a spinning move. Whoa. And what can he throw? What is that he's throwing? What is it? Is that like supposed to be like an ice cream scoop or something? A scoop of ice cream or something? Chocolate ice cream or something? The movie does contain some chocolate in it. In the level, you could have him be his pirate counterpart, but I guess you can't outside of the level. So, ooh, here's one we haven't done. That is just Data. Who is this? And I think it's I don't know what gender Data is, but he has the. I think it has the cool. Oh, the thing in the belt is actually a little punching bag that you can have. What if you could? Ooh, do those have to be like blow torches or something? Whoa! But you can't hold the X button for anything really. But use the one with the expertise gadgets and stuff. There we go. Come on, let's find whoever we did. Let's see, we did Chunk, we did Mikey. Oh, here we go. Here's a whose name is Mouth. Ooh, like Mikey, he can also throw dynamite. He can also throw it distantly too. And that's kind of all about him, though. For the most part, kind of the same as Mikey. I bet there's one more of these Goonies that I didn't really get to show you guys just yet. Data we showed, Mikey. Steph! There's another one. I think the design of her is more like the least kid-like of the Goonies, because the gray-colored hairpiece that she has and tall legs makes her look more like an adult than a kid. She could be the oldest of the Goonies. I'm not really sure. I think some fans who watch the movie might be asking this, ooh, what is that she's throwing? Is that supposed to be like a crab that he's throwing? She's blowing some gum? Bubble gum? Oh, it burst up like a balloon. But she has the hoodie Wild Style has, except it's red. But let's see, are there any more Goonies left? We done with those. Let's go ahead and check. Mikey, Mouth, Steph. That's it. Those are all the Goonies you can cycle between. Now let's get Sloth off the base. Hold on. All right, next from Lego City Undercover, we've got Chase McCain, a police officer who can do different disguises too, like a fireman, an astronaut, a farmer, and maybe more. A space miner, maybe even more. Got that little gun, but it actually is more of he's a grapple gun. That the grapple gun is in fact his accessory he comes with. Ooh, there's many of the... Ooh, B shows many of the different things he can turn into. Ooh, a construction worker. Oh. He can go change into this. There's a construction worker that... Does that look kind of like Emmett's shirt? but except he has a hard hat and with some headphones. And he can drill too, except more like a handstand drill, which is very, very fun. It gets time for the firefighter, Chase McCain. Alright. He has a water sprayer, which is supposed to be look like a fire extinguisher. It has the same fashion, except he has a little air tank. Air piece and a little white looking fire hat. It's cool. This looks like cool. Now let's go on. Ooh, it's actually a miner. Not NOR, N-E, or the one who's working in a quarry and stuff. Ooh, he can throw dynamite, kind of like those two Goonies. Oh, whoa. Now let's get. Ooh, he has that little hat piece with the head flashlight on it. His last one. Oh, wait a minute! I forgot that there was a farmer. That one for him. He has the green farmer shirt with the hat, the wide straw hat. Is that like a chicken he's throwing? There's not really a lot about his, but the last form he has is astronaut. Ooh, wait a second. Does he have some kind of space mega blaster? I think that is supposed to be. Yep. And he can fly when he's an astronaut, which is with that fuel tank and space helmet. Looks very cool. And that's enough about Chase McCain. Once we get him back to his normal police officer undercover uniform, now it's time for the next guy. Hold up. And then I'm up and move to the Teen Titans Go characters. We got Beast Boy, moving when you he can turn into a dolphin for an instant and then back to his regular form. Ooh, is that like a dog? Yeah, he can transform. When you fly as him, he turns into a bird. A green little bird. Let's see what you can do with Biba. Oh, aim a banana and stuff for a weapon. That's actually kind of weird and funny at the same time. Now let's move on to Starfire. Who I gotta say is kind of the best Teen Titans. Kind of one of the best Teen Titans Go characters. The best Teen Titan characters in general. They're the same kind, but as a cartoon character. And she has those laser vision star bolts and stuff. She's from the planet of the place called Tamaran, which I think it is Tamaran. And she looks like you got that joyful look on her face as you saw her. You hold. Ooh, jeez. Let's see what happens when we let go of that. Whoa! And she's just like, which is kind of. Rico checks that as well. Then I guess it's time for Raven. CC. When she walks, she's more looking into that floating in that cloak around her body, but her body is exposed when you're flying, as well as some of those electric bolts. Ooh, you can probably use those with electric panels as well. Wow, let's actually touch down and see. Ooh, she does a lot of the same thing that Doc Brown can with by turning this thing, by summoning a little tiny crow into the picture. Like, it kind of flies very slow, though it's not the greatest. But at the same time, it's not bad. I mean, I do like it and stuff, but now it's time to move on. Actually, hold up. Sorry about that. Actually, before I move on, I want to go on and address an elephant in the room. If you have not seen the video where I talked about the Teen Titans Go and jumping into that world, it's this little TV where you can press B and it plays a little episode, but I'm not going to actually press that B button on there, because that would be more of an accident if I did that on camera. But anyway, let's just move these guys from the base for the new ones. Oops, sorry. But the next batch of characters is from the Powerpuff Girls. So we got Blossom here, and the way she flies is accurate to the cartoon series, the original and the reboot, which is, I think they put this more in there to connect itself with the reboot series and Power Reboot. And she has all the three Powerpuff Girls have kind of the best kind of headpieces for a Lego figure, which is these huge heads. So that are actually very look like they want to have the same look as the shows to keep in line with the cartoons and stuff. So Bubble, they have those big eyes. And the irises in the eyes are so big too. Blossom's hair is orange with a red bow. Bubbles, here you see. I forgot to mention something. Oh, wait a minute. Forgot to mention. She has pink laser vision. Oh, and she has ice breath, just like Superman. Oh, and stuff. So, she's the leader of the Powerpuff Girls. And then there's this one, Bubbles, who also has laser vision. And she also flies accurately to the show too. And the big eyes, with the big irises, the big heads, and stuff. And the effects of when you fly, like some special effects you see when the bottom of their feet look like they're made from comic books. When you hold the B button, she does this. She looks like she's gonna start sobbing, and it literally starts a loud supersonic cry when you let go of the B button, like she's wailing. That's actually helpful for destroying sonarets and stuff, of course. Now the last Powerpuff Girl. Oh, Bubbles' hair is yellow with these pigtails and stuff. The last Powerpuff Girl, anyways, is Buttercup, who has more of a similar headpiece to I don't think I'm gonna name it. But of course, still the same big eyes with big irises on the big head. Special effects that keep in line. Except she's unlike Blossom and Bubbles, she has no laser vision, but has the ability of to attack like a green tornado. Ooh, she can like a death ball force field. That's a very gyrosphere-like, because you can interact with the panels like that. Let's deactivate this force field and move on to the last character. Hold on. And the last character we have is Beetlejuice from Beetlejuice. you guys might know, especially because the last month's new Beetlejuice 2 that came out in September. So you guys who saw that movie are going to be very happy to see my Lego Dimensions figure of him. He has a funny walk. See. His head screws around, unlike the other characters who can't. Well, maybe there could be a few who do, like, but I'm not really gonna know about that. Beetlejuice walks very funny when he has those crazy rubber mallet, whoa! I can really good smack. Get a good smack. Well, he's ready for action with one. Let's see what happens when we let go. Whoa! Spin kind of like Harley Quinn. And it looks like, I don't know if he does magic, but he's a goofy looking character. The voice actor kind of sounded a bit like Michael Keaton. Who's the one? But anyways, that could be enough for Beetlejuice. Now is the time where I'm gonna pause it real quick, head back to the Vortron place, and end this off. Hold up. Already, we have come back to the Vortron Gateway. Oh, by the way, I have one thing to know is that before I started the year 2 showcase, I restarted the game, so I don't really have to go on about the game freezing when I'm in the middle of recording this. So, sorry if that's not really a bad inconvenience, but just a little heads up, so that way I can be able to record the video without much trouble. But yeah, so we've got I don't know how many characters that. Actually, let me go ahead and pause this real quick, so that way I can try to count how many figures I showcased in the game there are, and hold on. Okay, guys, I counted every one of the characters, including the 3 that are on right now, and there are I think about 74 characters, which is a lot of characters to play as in one the sandbox Toys to Life game like this, Disney Infinity, or Skylanders. I know Disney Infinity might have a lot more characters than Lego Dimensions does, and I think the same can be said about Skylanders and stuff. But who doesn't out of those 3, Lego Dimensions would probably be the one. The least, the one sandbox Toys of Life game where your characters come to life on screen is the least amount of characters, considering that unlike Skylanders and Disney Infinity, this one had both years be more compatible with each other instead of releasing a sequel per se. But yeah. Looks like this was a pretty long video. It took me a while to record with so much time I spent talking about these guys for nearly 2 hours, which I try my best to get to try to get it at least under 2 hours in case it was near that long, so that way it won't be 2 hours. But yeah, that's all. That was a review on all my Lego Dimensions characters from Batman to Beetlejuice in Lego Dimensions. So, actually a very great way to celebrate the year anniversary of the day I posted the first episode of Owen's Free Roam for Lego Dimensions. If you fondly remember that series, go check out all those videos if you want to see. And if you watch this video and have not seen any of those as of today, I recommend you go check those out and stuff. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Drop a like. I would highly appreciate it if you drop at least one like. Subscribe to more on my channel for more content coming soon. Throw a quick thumbs up in there. It helps a lot. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.